Today, as I packed some bath bombs, I wanted to share some of the tools that I use with you. I do not use the National Shrink Wrap system, although I think it's a great tool. It's a little bit too expensive for my very small business. So I wanted to share some of the tools that small business owners could use. The impulse sealer that you see here is one I got from Amazon for around $30 on sale. I think they normally run about $40 total, so it wasn't that big of a sell. It works great with the individual bags that I use. While there are lots of heat guns out there, this one works great and it was very cheap, around $13. I'll link all of this in the comments below in the description. There are two settings on this heat gun, but I find that the high setting works best because I tend to linger too long trying to shrink a bag on the low setting and quite often it melts the plastic. Speaking of bags, I typically use two different bags. I have purchased both of these from Wholesale Supplies Plus. The left one is the polyolefin bag, and the right one has the PVC bags in it. For my first bath bomb, I'm going to use the polyolefin bag. If you notice, the bath bomb is not nearly as big as the bag, so I will likely be able to get two bath bombs sealed out of this one bag. Um, I'm going to use my sealer first, and if you notice when I push it down, it doesn't seal the bag the first time because my settings were too low. So I turn the knob on the side and I will raise the settings so that it seals the second time. There is a green light on the end of the sealer that lets you know when it is ready or not ready. It also turns red whenever it is sealing a bag and then green when it is ready for you to lift it. However, it does also make a little clicking noise so that you can do it by sound as well. One thing you might notice on this bath bomb is the fuzzy parts along the edges of the bag where the sealer didn't completely melt off. Those will be melted off by the heat gun, but it is always nicer to get a clean seal. So you could always just turn up your sealer a little bit higher to get it to completely seal off. Couple of differences between the polyolefin bags and the PVC bags. The polyolefin bags, you can smell the bath bombs and the soaps through if you choose to wrap your soaps as well. Also, they have a softer consistency. To touch, they feel like a Ziploc bag, whereas the PVC bags, they are a thicker, harder plastic, and it is a little bit more difficult to smell the soaps and the bath bombs through. That little flower bath bomb is one of my favorite that I'm sealing right now. You'll notice that the air inside of it begins expanding, and since the bag is completely sealed without any little holes, even a pinhole, it begins to blow up like a balloon. And so if you blow the heat gun on a corner of the bag, it kind of makes just a pinprick hole so that the air can escape and it can seal completely. That is what I'm doing at that point here. I'm going to go ahead and seal up one more star before we go into the sphere and finish up here. One thing I've noticed as I do more of these bath bombs is that the shapes that are flatter, my flower, my star, any of the 3D molds that make a semi-flat shape are easier to wrap than a sphere. The sphere will not end up being or looking perfect, but a lot of these other shapes do. And so that's kind of what I tend towards is I try to make more of these shaped bath bombs. All right, so as I start working on the sphere, my last bath bomb, I just kind of wanted to give some closing thoughts as I seal that. I don't really have a preference between using polyolefin and PVC. I use both of them. I quite often will use them for different bath bombs. The sphere bath bombs, I use my polyolefin bags only because I feel that they are softer and you can mold them better. The PVC bags are still moldable and you can still smell through them, although it is a little bit more difficult than the polyolefin. They just don't do real well with these spheres, and so I will use polyolefin every time for the spheres. Other than that, I use my PVC bags. They are also a little bit cheaper, so that helps out as well. As I finish up here, you'll notice that I am molding the bag around the sphere. Here's one last visual of a polyolefin wrap on the left and a PVC wrap on the right. The polyolefin shrinks around the bath bomb a little bit better than the PVC, so that's why I use that. I hope you have learned something. I hope you have a great day. See you soon.